Hey guys, Drifter here. I didn't get to break down the Black Ops 3 Zombies trailer for you because I was at UMG Dallas this weekend. I'm a little bit behind, but I'm going to be breaking it down now, live and rapid fire style. Lots of new places in Morgue City. Two you might recognize are the Blast Radius Theater and something on the top right hand corner called Cola. I'm going to bet you $1 to a donut those are going to be something explosive and where you get your Perca-Colas from. It's set in the early 1900s. This is like bootlegging time, prohibition time, gangster time. We've got a flapper girl here, a magician, a boxer, all sorts of crazy stuff. Going to be talking about them individually, but one of the things that I noticed right off the bat is that the Type 100 from World at War is coming back. It was one of the SMGs in the game, the Japanese one, and not only that, but it seems to be pack-a-punched or upgraded because it has a very intricate design on it and it looks very cool. On top of that, this is one of the few areas in the entire trailer where you get to see actual map, actual gameplay, and actual character models in action doing things. Just kind of wanted to point that out. This is the Locust bolt-action sniper rifle from multiplayer in use here in Zombies, and let's take a look at the cast. The first character's name is Jessica. She's voiced by Heather Graham and, kind of face captured or whatever by Heather Graham. She's probably better known for you guys as Felicity Shagwell from Austin Powers, or Jade, the stripper with a baby from The Hangover. Done quite a lot of other work, but in this particular instance, those are the two that you're most likely to recognize. In the context of this story, she is a burlesque dancer and a manipulator of powerful men. The next character we're going to meet is called the Cop. He's played by Neal McDonough, and he is known as a corrupt cop. He takes a lot of bribes and is involved in a corruption investigation. A lot of problems with him personally. You may know him from Star Trek First Contact as one of the lieutenants, or as the bad guy from Walking Tall. Here he is across from The Rock. Thought you guys might find that interesting. Pretty much all the characters in this are celebrities. His weapon of choice is going to be a snub-nosed pistol. Slightly intricate design, but not the craziest thing I've ever seen. The next character we're going to meet, as you can see right here putting his brass knuckles on, is Ron Perlman. I actually did an interview with Ron Perlman on this channel a while back that got cut short due to internet issues. That's a link down there below in the description. Ron Perlman has done a ton of movies. Three that I picked at random that you're probably familiar with are Blade 2, here he is across from Wesley Snipes, Hellboy, or Pacific Rim. Of note, I am going to bet the brass knuckles are a weapon that you can pick off the wall in the game and use, and I will be showing that off later. The next character almost needs no introduction, Jeff Goldblum. I've seen more Jeff Goldblum movies than I care to remember. You probably know him as this sexy beast from Jurassic Park, the guy that defeated aliens with a virus in Independence Day if you're into old 80 movies like I am, The Fly, The Grundle Fly, or more recently Law & Order if you're into TV. The cast is thus far extremely impressive, but we're not done. There is one character not yet mentioned that will be showed off later. This is just kind of some general gameplay from some of the general areas. This you might notice as the ARK from multiplayer / single player, but it appears to have just been pack-a-punched and upgraded. It even makes the pew 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 noises. There are those brass knuckles again. And in the next screenshot, I want you to take notice of this little blue flame in the left-hand corner. I kind of noticed these all over the maps. That one really stands out to me. I'm going to bet that has something to do with magic. Speaking of magic, we have this crazy sword. Now I'm going to show this to you in slow motion. Just watch the absolute madness of this sword weapon that all the characters can pick up, and then I'm going to point out a few things that you may have missed from this. First thing I want to point out is that the sword looks different either based on who's carrying it or how it's upgraded. Here it is in a whitish form. You'll see it again black in Ron Perlman's hands, the boxer, and red floating through the air. The next part, when it floats through the air and kind of explodes, it looks more like a normal katana, or I'm not sure if that's even properly a katana. It's just an unusual sort of scimitar perhaps. And in one particular sword scene, if you look closely in the right-hand corner, you will see the insta-kill skull floating around. So that's back. And one cheeky one I just had to throw in there, this scene where Jessica, or the manipulator, the femme fatale, slams the ground, reminded me a whole lot of Kill la Kill, which if you've seen that anime, you'll know what I'm talking about. If you're not, I would highly recommend it because it's about hilarious. Don't take it seriously or you'll be very seriously disappointed. Just kind of funny, kind of crazy. Cutting back to the gameplay, we have the zombies running away from somebody that's shooting. I'm assuming it's a monkey bomb or some sort of perk. The shield, while very cool, pretty much does just that. This is not the new perk machine, but these do give you abilities kind of like perks. The Gumball machine, I'm going to go ahead and call them out. They are fairly straightforward here in the trailer. We're going to take this one, and the zombies run away from you. They don't touch you. The next Gumball we chew gives you a max ammo, which is cool, and the next one makes zombies explode when they touch you. The last one is a lot crazier. We're going to chew on this Gumball, and we're going to see exactly what happens. It kind of turns you into this sort of tentacly, rapey monster type thing, and I want to point out that this is player controlled. This is an upgrade that you get to use and carry around and kill zombies with, but it's only for a limited amount of time. You will be turned back into a normal human being eventually. At this point in the trailer, a three-headed monster showed up. I'm going to call it Cerberus for lack of a better name, because that's the name of the dog that guards Hades, or the underworld. Hades is actually in charge of the underworld in Greek mythology. A lot of people flipped about this, said they don't want aliens in their COD game. I have a feeling that this is more like a mutant, something that's been exposed to the, I believe it's 115 gas and mutated. It appears that you kill it by killing each one of the three heads, and each one of the three heads is a different sub-boss, just like these crazy flying things. Probably a boss level or something like that, but I bet you missed this light machine gun. This is one that has not been seen before. I don't know what it is. The pistol right there is the burst pistol from the multiplayer, which you may have seen in my videos, and an ARK. This is a look at the Kuda MP5 type weapon, also present in multiplayer. On the left is the VMP, and on the right is the shotgun in this image, just in case you wanted to get a third person look at them. And lastly, we have this crazy magic thing in the end. Lots going on. Pay attention very closely. There's a nether portal on the left hand side with that red stuff. Definitely a portal. You got to teleport there. In the middle, we have some sort of obelisk, or rotating spherical object. Below the magic box, we have these flying spiky things all over the map. And coming up next is the only view that you're going to get of the Shadow Man, which leads me to the final person in the cast, whose name is Robert Picardo. Robert Picardo has the most interesting or most unusual IMDb of all of these people, and they're all very interesting. They all got really cool IMDbs. This guy is like a B-movie legend. He's been in so many crazy 80s B-movies. I'm actually going to list them out to you. He did Stargate Atlantis. That's probably the most recent thing. But going back, we've got The Howling, Legend. That's the one with Tim Curry. Explorers, kids movie. Amazon Women on the Moon, Inner Space. 976 Evil, one of the few I haven't seen. Dead Heat, about kind of cops versus zombies. We've got Gremlins 2, The Bad Guy, and Total Recall, that's crazy to me. Revenge of the Nerds, Star Trek First Contact again, Small Soldiers, Mega Wolf, Mega Shark versus Crocosaurus, and the list goes on and on and on. This guy has been in all sorts of crazy movies. You would think that's the end of the trailer, but I've got a few other things to point out here in the end in images. This is the clearest and best image of the Gumball machine that gives you special powers. I'm reluctant to call it the perk machine because as far as I'm aware, it doesn't give you perks. That's Perca-Cola. This next image, if you look very closely, there is a cutout of a weapon on the wall. I have no earthly idea what that weapon is, but I thought you guys might find it interesting. In this particular image, the most interesting fact is that that skull on the table is not a human skull. That is some sort of monstrous zombie mutated demon skull. Just thought I would point that one out. And lastly, if you zoom in underneath the weapon here, you see those strange symbols again from the trailer. Do you remember when we did the trailer breakdown and nobody could figure out these symbols? They thought it was hieroglyphics or cuneiform. I'm gonna bet that is part of the zombies Easter egg, and I just thought I'd point that out. Guys, that's all for this trailer breakdown. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something useful. If you did, don't forget to like, favorite, and subscribe. Drifter out.